Good afternoon, boys and girls. This is another session of math, which we'll be dealing with integers. An integer is a set of whole numbers and their opposites. I'm going to inform you of 3 scenarios in which you can determine or just think about an integer in this phase. You've already been exposed to them. Maybe just didn't look at it like this. First scenario. Think of integers as a thermometer, meaning on a thermometer you have numerical values. Above 0 would be positive numbers. Below 0 would be negative numbers. Another scenario is think about a credit versus a debt. If you were credited something, it means you were given it. It's something that you gained. If you were given a debt, like a bill, a monthly bill you have to pay, that means you owe this money. So it's represented as a negative quantity. You don't have it, you have to pay it. Last scenario, think of above and below sea level. If it's above sea level, it is positive. If it's below sea level, meaning you're underwater, it is negative. Above sea level, you're above the water. Okay, the first 2 bullets there, we have the directions are to write the integer that represents each scenario. So the first scenario I underlined gain. That means we're going to gain this. If you think about the scenario of that I informed you of is a credit versus a debt. This would be a credit. We're gaining 250 points when we do something, whatever. Don't know what it could be, but just applying the scenario. So I have plus 250. Also, you could also write this just 250 alone. Again, a numerical data that does not have a negative sign, it's implied that the number is positive. Second scenario, gas freezes at 40 degrees below 0. So I gave you, again, the scenario of a thermometer. I underlined below because, again, 40 degrees below 0, we're going to start at our origin of 0. 0, again, is neither negative nor positive. However, we're going to be below it. So if we're underneath the 0, we have a negative 40 degrees. That would be satisfying this situation. All right, the last section we have here is to graph an integer with its opposite. So in this case, we have 5. Now over here to my left, I have the graph. I have an x here because we're thinking about, again, the x-axis, which is horizontal on a coordinate plane. You can also have negative and positive numbers with a y-axis, which would be vertical. But in this case, we're just using, this is representing a number line, a horizontal number line. So if I graph 5, I go to 5 and I plot 5 on this number line. Then I go to the same numerical data as 5, but I have the opposite versus a negative versus a positive. Again, these all don't have plus signs, but again, it's implied that they're all positive because these numerical values do not contain a negative symbol. Okay, this is all we have for this section of understanding and interpreting what an integer is. Again, just think of it as a set of whole numbers and their opposite.